Please help me to reach 1,000 subscribers. My wife was unfaithful. Even now, saying those words feels unreal, like I'm reading someone else's tragedy instead of living my own. It's the kind of heartbreak you always imagine happening far away from your life, until suddenly it's right in your hands, tearing everything apart. I discovered the truth in the most brutal way. Her phone left unlocked. A conversation I was never meant to see. And then one sentence, 10 careless words that destroyed a decade of love. Last night was amazing. I can't wait for next time. I felt the world collapse in my chest. When I confronted her, she didn't deny it. She didn't cry. She didn't even look ashamed. She just said, emotionless, "I haven't loved you in a long time." That hurt more than the cheating ever could. I left the house that night without packing a thing. I drove to the only place that didn't feel like it was suffocating me, my office. At first, I told myself I was just working late. But the truth was simpler. The office was cold and empty, but it didn't lie to me. It didn't betray me. After a few days of this routine, my boss noticed. Claire, mid-40s, confident, sharp as a blade. The kind of woman whose presence makes everyone sit up straighter. One evening, long after everyone had gone home, she paused beside my desk. "You planning to set up a permanent camp here?" she teased, but her eyes were searching, concerned. I forced out, "Just catching up." She crossed her arms. "No, you're hiding. What's really going on?" The words hit harder than I expected. I wanted to say my house isn't a home anymore, but all I managed was, "It's complicated." She didn't pry. She just said softly, "Complicated things destroy people from the inside. Don't let it hollow you out." Then she walked away. But Claire wasn't someone who ignored what she saw. A few nights later, she reappeared, 2 coffees in hand. She set one in front of me and said, "Drink. And if you don't want to talk, I'll just sit here with you." And that was it. I cracked. Not in a dramatic explosion, but slowly, quietly. I told her everything. The messages, the betrayal, the numbness that clung to me like a shadow. She listened. Really listened. No pity. No judgment. When I finished, she pointed at me with her mug and said, "She's a fool. And you're not as broken as you think." For the first time in weeks, I felt seen. After that, she didn't let me sink into silence. Sometimes it was coffee in her office. Sometimes her assistant Jenna joined us. A bright, funny woman who could light up any room. The 3 of us would sit late into the night, eating takeout, talking about anything except my misery. Slowly I started breathing again. At first it wasn't about romance. It was rescue. Connection. Humanity. It was the reminder that life still existed beyond the wreckage. One night after Jenna left, I stayed with Claire. The city lights framed her office, glowing against the glass. We sat quietly, sipping coffee until she finally said, "You can't keep punishing yourself for what she did." I stared at my hands. I don't know who I am without her. Claire leaned forward, eyes warm but sharp. "Then it's time to find out." Her words hit me like a challenge, one I didn't know I needed. My wife had stopped seeing me, but Claire refused to let me disappear. She stood, walked around her desk, and said something I'll never forget. "Come with me instead." She didn't mean run away with her. She meant step back into life. Stop letting the past define me. Stop drowning. So I followed her out into the night. We didn't do anything reckless. We just walked through the city for hours, talking about everything and nothing. For the first time since my world imploded, I felt alive again. Months passed. I healed in pieces. And then, of course, my wife tried to come back. Tears, apologies, that familiar script of regret. Once I might have believed her. But Claire's words echoed in my mind. "Come with me instead." Not with her. Not with anyone. With life. So I told my wife no. I told her I deserved better. And when I hung up, the silence that followed wasn't painful. It was peaceful. Claire and Jenna didn't save me, but they reminded me I was worth saving. They reminded me that cheating isn't the end, what you choose afterward is. My wife's betrayal is where the story began. But how it ends? That part is mine. And I chose to move forward. Please help me to reach 1,000 subscribers.